Uncensored, no holds barred talk. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is the Global Reality Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live edition of the Global Reality right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thanks for being with us here tonight. Another late night Moonbat edition of the broadcast. It is Monday, October 24th, 2011 into Tuesday, October the 25th, 2011. Glad you could be with us here tonight. And we are live. We'll be getting into a few news stories here for you tonight. And we're also going to be reading from, I believe it's tablet number 8. I'm going by memory here. Tablet number 8 of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Key of Mystery. I'll be reading there for you tonight. Going to be doing a quick, sort of a quick show tonight. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I told you that last week that I was going to be doing fewer shows here over the next few weeks just to, in the final run to get the Z Right Volume 2 done. And, boy, I tell you what, it's been, I really had a lot of success last week taking the time from the show. Only did, I think, one show last week. And, I know you guys are missing the show out there, and I get your emails, and I thank you all for being patient and sticking around while I get this done. I understand everybody, you know, people get used to having the show every day, and they want to have the show every day. But I've taken very few breaks in 4 years from being on the air. I haven't taken a lot of big breaks, doing it. But I always do it when it's something important, and that is now. And so I wanted to come live with you here tonight. I'm not have a bunch of emails to read or anything tonight. I have a few news stories that I think are important that I'm going to get into and talk about, and then we're going to read from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. That's going to be it. I'm going to get back to working on this film because. Honestly, I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to be on the air right now. I really don't. I'd rather be working on the film because I'm just in that zone, man. I'm in the zone of working on the film. And when I had to pull my energy away from that, pull my energy into this, it just messes up my chi. It messes up my flow. But I'm here. And so I try to keep everybody happy all the time. Everybody wants shows and, you know, they want the film done. They want to send me messages saying, when's this film going to be done? When's it going to be out? And then they want to know how come there's not any live shows. And I don't do well with having my energy stretching around like that. But I do quite well when I can put all my energy into one thing. And so that's what I've done over the past week. And I'll tell you what, I've got a mountain of stuff done. I'm still trying to stick with my goal to have it done by this Saturday, the 29th. That was the goal that I'd set recently, and I'm sticking to that. Although I will say this: good news and bad news. Bad news is, I'm not more than likely I'm not going to be done with the whole thing by Saturday. That's the bad news. The good news is I've only got very very little after that. Probably just a few more tweaks and little things, and then just music, and I'm done with it. And that'll only take another few days and maybe another week. But either way, the other part of the good news here, either way, coming up this Saturday, the 29th, it would do well to hang around my chat room in the evening time. And at some point, I'm going to put up a little private screening room thing a link to that. And it's going to be zero tolerance to there. If they have little chat things in there, if you come in there talking shit and being a hater and you're not supposed to be in there, you're getting ejected immediately. So if there's people out there who are listening to these shows, who listen to this to monitor my broadcast, if you see this opportunity to come around and fuck around, you're probably going to end up ruining it for everybody, and it's going to be done, and that's going to be it. But I'm going to try to keep it as closed as possible. And I'll have a link there, and I'm going to show you whatever I've got done. So coming up this Saturday, win, lose, or draw, no matter what, you're going to see a cut of the Secret Right Volume 2. You loyal listeners, you'll need to be around my chat room sometime Saturday night to look for a link. If and the thing about it is, it's going to be this type of thing where it's going to be first come, first serve. Once the stream loads up, you can only take so many simultaneous streams. So once it loads up, if you're on the end of that stream, you may not get to see it. There's no guarantee, and don't ask me to play it again. Oh, my stream messed up. Play it again. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play it once. You have one shot to see it. If you get to see it and your stream holds up, great. Oh, well, in fact, we had this problem last time I tried to do this. A lot of people got butt hurt. So this is the way I'm having to frame this. You'll have, it's going to kind of be a lottery type thing. Everybody will have an equal chance, and some people will get served and some people won't. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But either way, you're going to see something. And then I'm feverish. I'm hoping, I just don't know what's going to happen. I hate to say absolutely I'm going to have it done, but then I hate to say not either. You know what I mean? All I can tell you is I over the weekend, I didn't sleep for 2 straight days at all. Two straight days I didn't go without sleep. And I've been staying up all night and all day. And but I like it. I mean, I'm in the zone right now. I mean, I really am in the zone. And this film is just going to be fucking incredible. It looks amazing. I get the rest of the music stuff that I want to do done. The music will sound amazing. But it definitely has officially already elevated my filmmaking to a new level. I mean, it's just leaps and bounds over all the stuff I've released up till now. And what's amazing is that I thought there would be a learning curve for this, going from what I was editing on before on PC. But what's amazing is I was editing on such inferior software, even though I was using top of the line whatever you can get on PC, but it's just inferior to this. This is the newest Final Cut Pro 10, and man, oh man, I thought there would be a learning curve. There's actually not, because I was working on such inferior software for so long and gotten so good at it, and I'd really used it, and now going to this, all the little things I already know, this just makes it more intuitive and more professional looking and whatnot. And man, oh man, the productivity's just gone through the roof now. I mean, we had talked about with our listener Scott. He sent an email asking, trying to look at different ways of doing the films, different strategies and stuff, and it asked if this computer would cause me to be able to start cranking out films faster. And I said, my honest question is, yeah, I think so. But it's one of those things where you just, I can't say 100% for sure, because you don't know till you do it. But absolutely, I can answer that question now 100%. Yeah, this is definitely going to speed up the amount of time. I mean, the amount of work that I've gotten done, because essentially I took all the files that I'd already done. And here's another thing that this is going to lead to as well, that you'll be interested in. Well, what's interesting is that the migration of the files over, it was very simple, and all the work that I've done for the past couple of years on the Secret Right Volume 2 on the on the PC and all the other stuff, I was able to bring all that work over and just make it match seamless into the new existing stuff that I'm doing in Final Cut Pro, and augment it and change it around. And what that opened up to me is that, and I am going to do this because it won't take very much time to do it, but I think it needs to be done now that I have the capabilities to do it. After this is done, the Secret Right Volume 2 is done and it's out, I've got all the files, because I only made that film in 2009. So when I migrated everything over to the Mac, to the external stuff, it's all over here. Okay, all my classic video files and everything I've ever had for past 5 or 6 years is all migrated over to the video editing machine. So I was looking at it. I'm gonna go back and do a brand new. I'm gonna pull a fucking George Lucas on him. Yeah, you know, kind of like George Lucas did. As soon as he got a fucking Mac, what do? He starts going back and cutting all the recutting everything. You're like, God damn, it's not even the same fucking movie anymore. Christ. But yeah, I plan on doing that with Secret Volume 1. I'm going to do a complete because and when you see Volume 2, you'll know why. You probably won't understand why now with me just saying it, but once you see Volume 2, you'll know why. Because there are a lot of things that I've done stylistically the same in Volume 2 as I did in Volume 1, but it's just enhanced and tweaked and more pro looking and slicker, and you know, everything's got, well, not everything, but most everything, you know, everything's got, if you're looking at a still picture or you're looking at a, and by the way, not, you know, I didn't have to use near as many still pictures this time. I was really surprised that I was able to find as much footage over the past couple of years and compile as I have. I mean, the first hour of the film is almost all footage. It's not just, you know, slideshow, which I intentionally had worked very hard for very many months to try to get away from and start doing. And I can report to you that has been a success as well. I'm amazed watching what I've done so far. I'm going here editing it and tweaking it. I'm watching. I'm like, wow, I did this. You know, I mean, really, I'm not kidding you. It's that good. I'm like, I can't believe I did this. Especially, I know I'm gonna think that way soon. I mean, as soon as it's done and I burn it on Blu-ray and watch that on the TV, it's gonna be. I mean, I think it's gonna sink in for me then. But I'm gonna go back and do a complete recut of Volume 1 and make it stylistically look closer to the newest one. And it won't be hard to do, and I've already got all those files, and I really think that it deserves it, because I think that the work that I've done in this film, and I'm really happy that I was able to really make this a legitimate part 2, and really the two films stand on their own, but they also very much complement each other. As far as like there are little things, and you'll catch it, and I promise you, this is a film you're going to want to go back and watch more than once. The first time you watch it, it'll just be kind of sinking in that it's done and it's real and it's out there. And then the second time you watch it, you'll pick up on more things, and you'll definitely see references, maybe in references that I don't necessarily point out to. I like to, I like to be a filmmaker. I like to not make everything obvious. I like to leave a little to the imagination. So there are some things that are sort of, if you saw, Volume 1 a bunch of times, and things like, like for instance, I don't know, a piece of footage from some television show where they're talking about the ride, and they show Pat Buchanan, and what they're talking about. And then you remember from Volume 1 about Pat Buchanan being trained by the Jesuits, and they taught him how to think. And then you see all this new Jesuit information and all this. But I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff. I mean, this stuff is really, really going to wake a lot of people up to some of the deeper levels of control. The first hour is all John Birch Society and the Jesuits mostly. Gets into a whole lot of stuff there, stuff that was revelatory to me. I mean, stuff that I learned in the process of making this film. And boy, did I ever learn a lot in the process of making this film. And I really have. And I think that there's going to be some good tidbits in there for those of you who've even listened to the show for a long time, listen to it very often. I think there's going to be some things in there you guys are going to be pretty interested in seeing. But so yeah, I'm going to do a show for you here tonight. But again, I don't know how many more I'm going to do the rest of the week, just because I just don't want to put my energy into anything else right now, but just doing this, because I know, because once it's done, and it's getting so close, man, and I'm so close to meeting my goal, and I have set the goal for this Saturday, the 29th, to do that. But like I said, either way, it's not going to much matter if it's done or it's not done Saturday, because either way, you guys are going to see something, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. And I think that all the work and all the effort and all the energy and the money and everything that's been spent to make it, in the end, once the finished product is out there, I mean, it's going to be it's gonna be hard to deny this. I think that if this film suffers the same sort of, and look, I'm not upset with the amount of numbers we had on the See Right Volume 1. I mean, I think that thing's been viewed, I don't know, on some of the various sites, a couple 100,000 times. Rather modest in the, grand scheme of things, but, still a dent nonetheless. But I think that, if this film gets the same treatment, there are very few people who had the guts to even have me on and interview me when Volume 1 came out. And I think that's what this Volume 2 is really going to set the standard for. I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious after this film comes out that the people who try to downplay it or the people who try to ignore it, it's going to be pretty obvious, especially after you see this film, that the people that try to downplay it and keep it out of the attention and stuff like that are most certainly working for the same entities that I name in this film. I got to tell you, man, oh man, the things I could talk about. This is just this is amazing. But anyway, nonetheless, I got on a tangent of something. I'm just thinking about. Sorry, got to talk it out loud because I'm just thinking. I've got my mind swimming with information, and the information my mind is swimming with right now is not the kind of stuff we're really talking about tonight on the show. So bear with me here. The website where this broadcast originates from is www.theglobalreality.com. That's www.theglobalreality.com. I want to thank everybody for being with us here tonight, staying in with us, staying up late with us, early with us, however you want to look at it. If you're out there listening live somewhere on the globe, around the globe, thank you so much for being with us, and we very much appreciate you guys staying and listening and waiting patiently as I get the film done. At the website, we have the chip and banner and the donate button for the month there. Please support our work if you can. When I have to take away time from shows, I'm not up here and I'm not able to ask for donations and ask people to support us when we need your support. And, there are expenses and things, you have to, that come about as a result of doing films and doing all this. It's just a natural thing in life. So, since we had only one live show last week, I'm going to have fewer this week. We do need to have some support this week. But hey, the great thing is that we only have $500 to go on our fundraiser for the month, and that amount is what we need in a week from today for the bill. So we have a week on that, so we're great on that. So this week we just need a few dollars of support to make it through the week. Whatever anybody out there can spare to help us, and just know that whatever you donate this week is going to ensure that I'm able to get as much as can be possibly done on that movie to have it done by this Saturday. Again, like I said, you may see it may be done and you may see it complete, lock, stock, and barrel, or it may be done and you may see it with no music, or you might see the first hour of it. We'll see. But either way, I wanted to put that out there and let everybody know that trying to live up to that goal. And I appreciate Scott, our listeners, setting that goal for us and setting goals for me. It really does help, when you feel like you have a deadline to have something done and you have a goal. Okay, now I've got. But that's the biggest thing that's been holding me back for so long now, has been not having the proper tools. As Scott said in his email that he sent, he's like, you're trying to. It's an analogy, by the way. I don't want to say this and have all the fucking stupid ass NSA sensors go off, but he used the analogy of that I was trying to make a nuclear weapon, out of tinfoil or whatever. Trying to make a basically a movie that's a theoretical atomic bomb, an info bomb of information that, but I'm trying to do it with very limited resources. And that's absolutely true. And so now, since I've actually been able to get some better equipment, man, it really, really, everything just looks professional now. I mean, it's really got me inspired to want to do more things, especially with what I can do with this software and the looks I can do with it, and with my camera and stuff like that. Really looking at doing some different things. Maybe looking at doing a once a week live TV report, because I've got all this stuff on here where I can really make it look like TV. I mean, with the lower thirds and the and the titles and all that stuff and the graphics. I mean, it looks real. I mean, it looks as good as anything you see on any cable TV show, and it's in high def, and all the stuff's going to be in high def now, all the way across the board. I'm thinking about doing like a once a week TV report thing where I do like, you know, an hour or whatever I think the best stuff to talk about in that hour is for that week. Thinking about doing that, all kinds of stuff, and just opening up the possibilities. But again, we do need your support to be able to continue on. So please make a donation this week and support us so I can get this work done. Thank you very much. Let's see what we've got here on the menu for news tonight. GlobalRealityShow@gmail.com is my email address. You can send emails over there. I'm not saying I'm not going to do any more shows this week. I'm not saying this is going to be the only one, but I'm just saying I really, really want to buckle down and get this movie done. It's my only concern or my only thing I'm putting all my energy towards, and it's paid off. I can't tell you. That's why I'm just so keyed up to not stop working on it. You know, it's just tedious stuff. It's just, you know, and that's really all it is. And but I, for the longest time, struggled. I mean, I've had this thing cut 7 or 8 different times and scrapped it. And now I know that during all that time, all that lost time, you know, in not being able to get the film to look the way I wanted to, I didn't, you know, I kind of suspected this was that way. I didn't know this was completely the case, but now I can say it absolutely was. The whole time, the only thing holding me back was not having a Mac, not having a computer to be able to make films that are done on what films are made on. That's been 100% the whole reason why that this film has taken so long. Because I knew that the information was so good that it was just doing it a grave injustice. A grave injustice to put it out in a low res, you know, looking like it was made on Windows Movie Maker type thing. You know, and I'm not out of the woods yet. Once this thing is done, I still got to come up with cash to have DVDs and Blu-rays printed. You know, that's probably about $1,200. I got to come up with that. And then we end up not selling very many of those. But, you know, that's the whole thing is I think that's going to change. I think this film is going to be, I think it's going to do well. I'll say that. I don't know that for sure. It could be a complete flop like everything else I've ever done, but it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, when you see it, you're going to know what I put into this. I mean, you can literally, my soul there's a part of me that is in this thing because I put so much of my energy into it. And many of you out there put a lot of your energy into donating to the show and what you do to keep me going. And I thank you for that. Cannot thank you enough for that. I wouldn't be doing any of this without you guys out there. That's a number one fact. And I'm not too proud to say that. Because it's a fact. And that's what we're here to do, is talk about facts. But let's see what we've got on the menu tonight for news. That's just so tired of this stuff. This is interesting here, though. Looks like they're building lots of stories going around. People are kind of getting bugged out, I think. I mean, you know, we got past all of the scaremongering stuff of Ellen and that, you know, all that stuff's kind of gone past. We've gone past the Reverend Manning stuff, or whatever the fuck his name is, and his apocalypse that was supposed to happen Friday. But, you know, around every corner now, there's just more and more little hints of this stuff. I mean, there's a video that I think it was Michael D posted in the chat room earlier tonight that was concerning this truck driver who went to this underground city in the middle of the desert in Texas. And when I say city, I mean, he said it was a city. He's talking about 7 to 8 story tall buildings underneath here, shops, dry cleaners, like a regular city, and thousands of people there. So one or two things is going on here. And I think a lot of people believe that most of these things that are being built here in the United States are going to house Americans. And I want to put forth the idea that I don't believe that we have information that can state that that's 100% the case. Because if you look at the way the geopolitical situation has been going over the past few years, especially with what's happening in the economy and this by design global financial collapse, to blow out the dummy corporation, so to speak, and bring down the current Ponzi scheme to bring in a newer one that's even worse, but do it under the guise of it being something new, the new game, the new regime, the new game in town. This is their classic modus operandi. These folks, these people have been doing this for thousands of years. This is the natural progression of things historically when you look at the way that these people have done things up until this point in time. And so with what appears to be, you know, the breaking up, and that's what it appears to me they want to do, is break up the United States into, it's so big, they want to break it up into a bunch of little smaller factions, smaller countries. China will get this part over here. Russia will get this part over here. And you'll have your choice of which, occupied zone you want to live in. You want to live in the Chinese zone. You want to live in the Russian zone. So I think that a lot of these underground bunkers and cities and things like that may be being built for countries of people overseas that they know absolutely beyond any shadow of a doubt are going to be wiped out in the near future. That's what I think it is, because, from what I understand, if there was calamities that were going to strike the United States, stuff that would happen as far as, well, just think about all the things that can happen where you could go in an underground bunker. I mean, if it's Earth crust displacement and pole shifts, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on with that right now, I think we're in the middle of a pole shift going on. Understand that pole shift doesn't mean the poles reverse, everything flips, and all the land masses go crazy, and it's like 2012, the movie or something. Everybody has that idea in their mind from the propaganda, but if you actually do the research, there's a good amount of evidence that supports that we wouldn't even notice it, and that the poles may already be shifting right now. I think that's what a lot of this is, and of course, with sunspots and us getting these big solar storms happening, all huge amounts of electromagnetic waves being flooded across the earth right now. It's causing displacements in time and in all sorts of things. Everything that has a vibratory frequency to it. But I think that there's just as much of a chance that a lot of these underground cities being built in the United States could be housing more than just Americans. It could be housing people from overseas in countries where, and they may be just getting ready to turn the United States of America into, this big multicultural world. Big hole in White House lawn prompts equally big questions. President Obama, who's been traveling the country urging Congress to pass his jobs bill so Americans can be put to work on infrastructure projects, need only look out a window in the West Wing to see one such project underway on his front lawn for the last 17 months. It is highly visible and yet mysterious. For the first time in recent memory, the ground and pipes beneath the Oval Office are exposed. And each day, workers lower massive concrete blocks several stories underground. Cranes, trucks, and construction workers file in and out of the hole, usually through a passageway between the White House and the old executive office building. The cavernous hole has inspired much speculation. Is it an Olympic-sized swimming pool for the fitness-conscious first couple or a more spacious bunker? The General Services Administration says it's an elaborate renovation. They go on to say, and if they say, well, no, we won't say what it is. They say that we're just adding to the air conditioning systems. The General Services Administration says it's an elaborate renovation of the building's aging air conditioning and electrical systems. But a White House official was asked and said that they don't know too much about it. But one White House official was quoted as saying that they believe that it is security related. Security related. So they're building like a safe room in there is what they're doing. Oh man, oh man. What reason would they need to build that? You see? I mean, is the zombie apocalypse upon us now? Wouldn't surprise me. But talking about, crust displacement and all these earth changes going on, here's one that I think really goes a long way towards backing that idea up. This is from Live Science today. Rapidly inflating volcano creates growing mystery. Should anyone ever decide to make a show called CSI Geology, a group of scientists studying a mysterious and rapidly inflating South American volcano. A rapidly inflating volcano. Wow. That would have to mean that it's inflating because there's pressure coming up from the bottom, which means that the Earth's magma is in play right now. Whoa, that doesn't sound good. Researchers from several universities are essentially working as geological detectives, using a suite of tools to piece together the restive peak past in order to understand what it is doing now and better diagnose what may lie ahead. It is a mystery that they've yet to solve. Unturuncu is a near 20,000 foot high volcano in southwest Bolivia. Massive earthquake in Turkey, by the way, hundreds killed. Right as all this solar activity is going on. Scientists recently discovered the volcano is inflating with astonishing speed. Researchers realized about 5 years ago the area below and around Unturuncu is steadily rising, blowing up like a giant balloon under a wide disk of land, some 43 miles across. Satellite data has revealed that the region was inflating by 1 to 2 centimeters per year, and had been doing so for at least 20 years when the satellite observations began. It's one of the fastest uplifting volcanic areas on Earth. What we're trying to do is understand why there's a rapid inflation, and from there we'll try to understand what it's going to lead to. No, they know full well what this is. They're playing dumb. They're playing ignorant to keep us in the dark. I mean, this is one of the many things that, our planet is alive. Our planet is a being. It's an entity. It has a soul. And if we're paying attention, the planet sends us messages and lets us know when certain events and certain things are going to happen. The ancients knew of this, but of course that's been bastardized and changed and suppressed and everything else. But I believe, the ancients would have saw this as a sign. The ancient people would have seen, they would have noticed this full well that this volcano was inflating. They would have taken it as a sign that something major, some major upheaval or some major event going on with the Earth itself was going to happen very soon. And we're just, we don't know what it is, blah, blah, blah. But anybody with half a brain could believe that. Again, rising hot air coming down from the bottom of something, if it's going to come out and it's blowing up like a balloon, that means it's coming down from below the Earth and it's very hot. So, yeah, I believe that the Earth definitely has these little indicators and these things to let us know when something's going to happen so that we can be aware of it. Well, you guys see what's happening, what this Occupy Wall Street stuff is degenerated into now, huh? That's just been infiltrated and co-opted and just 7 ways to Sunday. There's reports coming out of Dallas that some chick who told all these guys she was 19's been going around. She's banged 15 dudes or something like that at the Occupy Dallas, and then they found out she was 14 and her run away from Garland. Oh, it's just too funny. Yeah, somebody sent her in there. Occupy Maine was attacked with a chemical bomb. But again, this is hopefully going to serve as a wake-up call to all the people out there that, there's just, they don't give a shit about your protest. They're going to do what they're going to do. And what you need to do is get yourself educated. What you need to do is pull your head out of your ass and think for yourself for once and realize that you don't know everything and most of what you believe is probably not true. And you need to understand that there's a whole other deeper level to this. And you need to dedicate yourself and everything you can to do to raising awareness of that and getting the word out about it. Because I'm here to tell you all these phony protests, everything that we've ever followed has been phony and set up by the intelligentsia. We don't know what a real people's revolution looks like because they've all been provocateur and staged and everything else all the way across the board. Let's see what else we have here in the news. Oh, this is great. This I should probably end up putting in. Go ahead and put it in the film, since I'm right around the area where I could still slip it in. The Vatican today has now called for a World Bank. The Rothschilds, the guardians of the Vatican's treasury. Wow, they're all singing from the same song script here. But I mean, look, the Jesuits are deeply involved in the world banking establishment. They whacked Kennedy because he started pumping all of those non-Federal Reserve dollars into the system, getting ready to shut down their Jesuit army, their cold warriors at the CIA. I mean, Pope John Paul was getting ready to break up the Jesuit order in the same way that Kennedy vowed to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces. Pope John Paul II made this almost the same, used the same language pretty much, and said that he wanted to splinter the Jesuit order into 1,000 pieces. Look what happened to him. Boom, they shot his ass, cold-blooded. And I've got footage. I've got the footage of it, man. Then what happened right after that? Well, as soon as he gets better and he's all well, there he is. He's coming out of the room with the Black Pope, with his arm around the Black Pope, and saying, I was wrong about the Jesuits. I was misled. Yeah, I was told they were a bad organization, and actually, they're a good organization. And yes, I'm going to make sure the Jesuits stay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. After they shot your ass. Lots of interesting things I've learned as well about. I also want to correct myself on one thing that I've said for the longest time. New information has come to light. This is very big. Pay attention here. I've actually been saying something wrong for several years here on a piece of information concerning the John Birch Society, and one, to never be afraid of it when I'm wrong. And I have been wrong about this, and I can prove it. And what's interesting now is if I hear anybody make this claim again, I'm going to be able to say, no, I can prove that's not true. It's absolutely, I've said this phrase over and over again, that all the heads of the John Birch Society have all been Jesuit trained. That's actually not true. It's actually not true. But even though it's not true, I did find a piece of information out that makes it all the more interesting. And all the more damning against Alex Jones and the current regime of the John Birch Society in my mind. Robert Welch, the candy maker, who started the John Birch Society, did so because Nelson Rockefeller paid him $3 million for Welch Candy Company. And he paid him he paid him 3 times, not, would I say $3 million? I didn't mean $3 million. He paid him 3 times what his candy company was worth. So, for instance, if it was worth $1 million, he paid him $3 million for it. With the caveat that if he paid him that sum, he would head up this new group that was going to be anti-communist that was called the John Birch Society. And you'll see all this in the film, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's absolutely Robert Welch was never Jesuit trained. In fact, he never had any connections to the Catholic order at all. But for some reason, on his deathbed, someone felt the need to baptize him or whatever, bring him into Catholicize him, whatever you call it, into Catholicism on his deathbed. But he was a 32nd degree Freemason. That's confirmed. I got a source on that from a book that was published 20, 30 years ago. But that isn't, I didn't know that. That's a fact. He was a 32nd degree Freemason. So what's interesting is it seems that, especially with the stuff between Protestants and Masons, you got people that on the service appear to be Protestants and are really Jesuits. You've got, people that claim to be anti-Catholic that are actually Jesuits. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff. But Robert Welch started in the 1960s. Started speaking in public saying that he didn't believe anymore. He no longer believed that the communists were at the tip top of the New World Order conspiracy, because that's what, back then, that's what everybody believed. The communists were the tip top of the New World Order. That's it. And he started saying publicly that he didn't believe that that the communists were the tip top of the spear. And he specifically said, I have clips of it in the film. Robert Welch said on tape, on video, on film, that he believed that other groups like the Illuminati were actually at the top of this. And as soon as he started saying that publicly, boom, here comes William F. Buckley Jr., and they made that big blow up in the media about, he called Eisenhower a communist. Anybody ever wonder why they made such a big deal about that? Okay, who cares? We at that time, the United States was most certainly considered to be more free and people to have more rights than we do now. But, so what? Freedom of speech, whatever. But the reason they did that was to make a big blow up to try and defame Robert Welch, who got off the plantation and started talking about, hey, there's something deeper to this. No, shut up. The enemy's the communists. They're the only enemy. They're the top of the New World Order. Don't look any further. Boom. In the same way that we see now, people like Alex Jones say, no, don't look at the Jesuits. The bankers are it. They're the tip top. That's it. And so what's interesting is that the Jesuits didn't even come into the fold, but I have determined the exact moment when the Jesuits infiltrated and gained control of the John Birch Society, and it was just a few months after. Well, it was 3 years after the Kennedy assassination, and just a few months later is when John McManus, the current head of the John Birch Society, came in as kind of a low-level lackey and then worked his way up. But he came out of the Holy Order of the Cross University. It's one of those Jesuit universities, same one that the Jesuit hardballs Chris Matthews went to. He's another Jesuit, Bohemian Grove member as well, also Bilderberg Group member. But they went to the same college. Well, what's interesting is that at that moment, that's when you started to see everything start to be shifted back towards its Jews, its bankers, its this, and away from, talking about the Illuminati. Because they knew that was going to lead to people digging into the priest class and digging into the Alumbrado Society and getting deeper into that. But what's interesting is that since McManus has been head of the John Birch Society, that's when you've seen this resurgence in the John Birch Society. You've seen them come out more, and they've been adopting the conspiracy culture as its own, using Alex Jones as their mouthpiece to do that. And, I've got footage of John McManus on Alex Jones' show. It's going to be in the film. So I think that the John Birch Society was a group that was, probably started by the Freemasons in the beginning as a way for them to try and out the Jesuit controllers and the priest class controllers, because there's always been this internal war going on between the Protestant Freemasons and the Catholic Jesuits and all this stuff. Sort of light side, dark side battle thing. And I think that's what they used to co-opt it was this John McManus character, who effectively turned it into into just another one of these controlled opposition groups, which it remains today. But yeah, the Vatican calling for a World Bank, unbelievable stuff. God, did you hear about this stuff they did to Gaddafi? And that's another thing, a quote I found talking about the Jesuits. I don't know if it's going to make it in the film, but I found some quote somewhere where it said that it was like a requirement. All Jesuits are every Jesuit is a sodomite. Like they're all into like ass fucking, every one of them. And that it's like almost a requirement for the Jesuits that they have to be ass raped by the time they're 3 years old so they can bond with another male. And sure enough, what do our troops start doing as soon as they get Gaddafi? They start trying to fuck him in the ass. They're trying to sodomize him. I mean, this goes a long way, and I prove this in the film too. The priest class controllers, these crusaders, these Christians, they're all sodomites, every one of them. I mean, it's not enough for them to go and commit genocide. They have to go and commit genocide and fuck everybody in the ass along the way. I mean, the Templars were into this stuff too. Where do you think they got it from? The term kiss my ass literally is a Templar term that came from when they would kiss the anus of the Grand Master, men, each other. sick, sadistic sons of bitches. That's all they are. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Well, I want to get into some reading tonight. Key of Mystery from Emerald Tablets of Thoth, but I'm going to take a break. Played Megadeth's new album. The entire new album doesn't come out until November 1st, but I got an advanced copy of it. Man, I got to say, it's a good record, man. That probably the best thing they've done since the 1990s. What's interesting is there's like about 3 songs on there I was already familiar with. New World Order, Black Swan, and I think Millennium of the Blind. Those 3 have been around in demo form for years, or B-sides and stuff, and they re-recorded them, brought them out for this record. It's a fantastic record. There's some really, really awesome lyrics and stuff like that. My 2 favorites on here are We the People and I like them all. New World Order, the new version of New World Order they did on here was just great, but I want to play this song We the People again. It's pretty good. So we'll take a break, come back, get into... All right, back here with you on the Global Reality, right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thanks for being with us here tonight for another late night Moonbat edition of the broadcast. We are going to be reading from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth for you right now in this segment of the broadcast, The Key of Mystery. TheGlobalReality.com is my website. Again, support our work if you can. I've got to get this film finished up and take time away from doing the shows. We don't have advertising. We don't have sponsors. We don't have any of that kind of stuff here. And but we do have to have, a regular amount of support coming in just to be able to continue on a day-to-day basis and do this. And everything we've done up to this point has been a result of that support. So thank you to everybody out there yet again. And it's just so excited for you guys to see this film. I was just ready to get on with it and get it done and get it out there and get ready to start cranking out some more stuff. People keep asking me how long the movie's going to be. I don't know. It's going to be fuck all long, but I'm also going to, there's probably going to be multiple cuts of it, man, to be honest with you. I mean, because some of this stuff, there's like this, some of these clips I've got, I don't know. I just don't know yet. They're probably going to be, I really want to keep it. Let me look here. I got a stack right in front of me. A single Blu-ray disc holds a whopping 25 gigs or 135 minutes of HD video. So 135 minutes is what? 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. So, yeah, I want to try to keep it at that. At least for the disc version. There may be more, Moonbat extended cut or something like that on YouTube. We'll see. But believe me, it's jam-packed with info nonstop, all the way front to back. But please support our work if you can. TheGlobalReality.com. Use the chip and banner. Well, actually, the amount there, for the chip and banner, actually, the amount that we have left is what we have to have for the bills next week. We need exactly that amount, 500. So only use the chip and banner if you're going to, if it's going to go towards that amount. If you can just direct all everything else towards donations, direct that to the donate button there at the site if you can. So thanks to everybody out there. Let's get into it now. The Key of Mystery from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Tablet number 8. Unto thee, O man, have I given my knowledge. Unto thee have I given of light. Hear ye now and receive my wisdom brought from space planes above and beyond. Well, right there, he tells you where it comes from, doesn't he? Not as, excuse me, not as man am I, for free have I become of dimensions and planes. In each I take on a new body. In each I change in my form. Now I know that the formless is all there is of form. Great is the wisdom of the seven. Mighty are they from beyond, manifest they through their power. Filled by force from beyond. So these are entities that just manifest wherever they want from just sheer energy. and spiritual energy. Hear ye these words of wisdom, hear ye and make them thine own. Find in them the formless. Mystery is but hidden knowledge. Know, and ye shall unveil. Find the deep buried wisdom, and be master of darkness and light. Deep are the mysteries around you, hidden the secrets of old. Search through the keys of my wisdom. Surely shall ye find the way. The gateway to power is secret, but he who attains it shall receive. Look to the light, O my brother. Open, and ye shall receive. Press on through the valley of darkness. Overcome the dweller of night. Keep ever your eyes on the light plane, and thou shalt be one with the light. Man is in process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grow he is time to the formless, a plane on the cycle above. Know ye that you must become formless before you are to be with the light. Listen to my voice, O man, telling of the pathways to light, showing the way of attainment, when you shall be one with the light as well. Search ye the laws of mysteries of earth's heart. Learn of the law that exists, holding the stars in their balance by the force of the primordial mist. Seek you the flame of the earth's life. Bathe in the glare of its flame. Follow the three-cornered pathway until thou, too, are aflame. Is that a reference to like Kundalini or the fire, raising into that? Very well could be. Speak thou in words without voice to those who dwell down below. Now he's talking about communicating telepathically with inner earth beings. Nice. Enter the blue-litten temple and bathe in the fire of all life. Know, O man, that you are complex, a being of earth and of fire. Let thy flame shine out brightly. Be thou only the fire. Wisdom is hidden in darkness. When lit by the flame of the soul, find you the wisdom and be light-born, a son of the light without form. Seek the evermore wisdom. Find it in the heart of the flame. Know that only by striving and light pour into the brain. Now have I spoken my wisdom. Listen to my voice and obey. Tear open the veils of the darkness. Shine a light on the way. Speak I of ancient Atlantis. Speak of the days of the kingdom of shadows. Speak of the coming of the children of shadows. Out of the great deep were they called by the wisdom of earthmen, called for the purpose of gaining great power. Far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were who delved into darkness, using dark magic, calling up beings from the great deep below us. Forth they came into this cycle. Formless were they, of another vibration, existing unseen by the children of earthmen. These are spirits or demons. Only through blood could they have formed being. Only through man could they live in the world. In ages past, they were conquered by masters, driven below to the place whence they came, but some there were who remained hidden in spaces and plains unknown to man. They lived in Atlantis as shadows, but at times they appeared among men. Aye, when blood was offered, they came to dwell among men. These sound like macrobes or oversouls. Or somebody asked me if the archons were the same as the oversouls or the microbes. I just don't know for sure. Sounds to me like it could be, but I don't know. In the form of man, they amongst us, but only to sight were they as are men. Serpent-headed, when the glamour was lifted, but appearing to man as men among men. Well, that's a fucking reptilian shapeshifter right there if I ever heard it. When the glamour was lifted, when they took the makeup off, they took he's a serpent head underneath there, appearing to be a man under men, crept they into the councils. My God, that's unbelievable. This is actually talking about shapeshifters infiltrating councils and government and using black magic to do this. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know this was in here. I mean, that's a glaring thing right there. I mean, that makes me all the more interested in the alleged 2 tablets they say we're not ready for or we can't handle. Man, how do we get our hands on that? In the form of man, they amongst us, but only to sight were they as men. So only when you looked at them, only to sight were they as men. Only when you looked, I didn't get that the first time. When you looked at them, you thought they were a man. But when you take all that away, they were serpent-headed underneath. That's a shapeshifter. There's no question. They crept into the councils, taking forms that were like unto men, slaying by their arts the chiefs of the kingdoms, taking their form and ruling over man. So they went in and slaughtered the chiefs and the rulers and made themselves look like them and assumed total control. That doesn't sound too far off to the truth. Historically, as far as my research shows, I mean, really, trace back these bloodlines and how these, I'm looking at Merovingius, Meravi, and oh man, that's just a little unbelievable right there. That this is, coming from ancient texts or ancient tablets. That's really hard to believe. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying that's just unbelievable stuff. Because my research does. I mean, yeah, that's the people that are in power got it by deceit and by being fucking snakes in the grass. Only by magic could they be discovered. Only by sound could their faces be seen. Only by sound. So certain frequencies must allow you to be able to see what these shapeshifters really look like. That's interesting. I always thought that may be the case. Sought they from the kingdom of shadows to destroy man and rule in his place. But know ye, the masters were mighty in magic and able to lift the veil from the face of the serpent and able to send him back to his place. Aha, but see, we don't have as many powerful magicians working in the light in these days, so that's why the serpents have been able to take over. They haven't had any competition. That's why they've kept this information and this secret knowledge hidden from us so well, folks. That's your explanation right there. Came they to man and taught him the secret, the word that only a man can pronounce. Swift then they lifted the veil from the serpent and cast him forth from the place among men. Yet beware, the serpent still liveth. In a place that is open at times to the world, unseen they walk among there, in places where the rites have been said. Again, as time passes onward, shall they take the semblance of men. Called may they be by the master, who knows the white or the black. But only the white master may control and bind them while in the flesh. So only someone who's working for for white magic and not black magic can bind these shapeshifters while they're in the flesh and expose them for what they are. Seek not the kingdom of shadows, for evil will surely appear. For only the master of brightness shall conquer the shadow of fear. Let me say that one more time. That's a great... I got to get... Jamie, if you're listening on an archive later, you got to work that into a song. Seek not the kingdom of shadows, for evil will surely appear. For only the master of brightness shall conquer the shadow of fear. Know ye, O my brother, that fear is an obstacle great. Be master of all in the brightness. The shadow will soon disappear. Hear ye and heed my wisdom. The voice of light is clear. Seek not the valley of shadow, and light will only appear. Listen ye, O man, to the depth of my wisdom. Speak I of knowledge hidden from man. Far have I been on my journey through space-time, even to the end of space of this cycle. I glimpsed the hounds of the barrier, lying in wait for he who would pass them. In that space where time exists not, faintly I sensed the guardians of the cycles. Move they only through the angles. Free are they not from the carved dimensions. Strange and terrible are the hounds of the barrier. Follow they consciousness to the limits of space. Think not to escape by entering your body, for follow they fast the soul through angles. Only the circle will give you protection and save you from the claws of the dwellers in angles. Once in a time past, I approached their great barrier and saw on the shores where time exists not the formless forms of the hounds of the barrier. I, hiding in the mist beyond time, I found them. And they, scenting me afar off, raised themselves and gave the great bell cry that could be heard from cycle to cycle. As I moved through space toward my soul, that's interesting, cycle to cycle. It's a frame of time they refer to in Tron. And more evidence we're actually living in the Matrix. Fled I then fast before them, back from time's unthinkable end, but ever after they pursued me, moving in strange angles not known to man. I, on the gray shores of time-space's end, found I the hounds of the barrier, ravening for the soul who attempts the beyond. Fled I through circles back to my body. Fled and fast after me they followed. I after me the devourers followed, seeking through angles to devour my soul. Know ye, man, that the soul who dares the barrier may be held in bondage by the hounds beyond time. Held till this cycle is completed and left behind when the consciousness leaves. Entered I my body, created the circles that know not angles, created the form that from my form was formed, made my body into a circle and lost the pursuers in the circles of time. But even yet, when free from my body, cautious ever must I be not to move through the angles, else my soul may never be free. Know ye the hounds of the barrier move only through angles and never through the curves of space. Only by moving through curves can you escape them, for in angles they will pursue you. O man, heed my warning. Seek not to break open the gate to beyond. Few there are who have succeeded in passing the barrier to the great light that shines beyond. For know ye that ever the dwellers seek such souls to hold in their thrall. Listen, O man, and heed ye my warning. Seek you to move not in angles, but curves. And if while free from the body, you hear the sound of like the bay of a hound, ringing clear and bell-like through your being, flee back to your body through circles. Penetrate not the mists before. When thou hast entered the room thou hast dwelt in, use thou the cross and the circle combined. Open your mouth and use your voice. Utter the word, and thou shalt be free. Only the one who of light has the fullest can hope to pass by the guards of the way. And then must he move through the strange curves and angles that are formed in direction not known to man. Listen, O man, and heed you my warning. Attempt not to pass the guards on the way. Rather, you should seek to gain thine own light and make yourself ready to pass on the way. Light is the ultimate end, O my brother. Seek and find ever the light on the way. So that's the end of that tablet. Next time we'll get into the key to freedom of space. Tablet number 9 of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Excellent stuff there. Shapeshifters. the hounds that guard the barrier into the other side. Very stuff that's very similar to what's talked about in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead talks about the same type of thing, encountering these beings at the gate, these things that'll try to scare you and tell you that it's going to take your soul, so you'll get scared and run back to your body. And that's what's keeping souls incarnating and trapped back down here in dense matter of material plane. That we're talking about that 3,000 years ago. Apparently it coincides with this, but yeah, man, great stuff there. Well, I was glad to be here with you tonight. I got to get back working on this film, y'all. We're going to try to do some more shows this week, but please don't be mad at me, and please don't just refuse to support me if I'm not here doing shows. I kind of feel like people kind of get I don't know. I just kind of feel like that people have this "what have you done for me lately" attitude. They certainly have had that attitude when my dad died. Wasn't around, was taking time off because I was going through that, and people were just refusing to donate, and it was hard. But believe me, I'm working. I mean, I am not doing anything else at all until this film is done. I'm exclusively working on this. I'm working hours and hours on end, working crazy late, early hours, sleeping at weird times. But in the end, it's all going to be worth it when you guys see this film and the fantastic information that I'm presenting here. And I'm excited to get this info out so that we can start changing things, and changing, first off, the way that we all think about things and the way our understanding. That's all I want to change. I'm not here to try and go camp out and have sex with 14-year-olds and all this stuff. I just want to change the way that we understand things and open up the conversation a little more, because it's being restricted by the people that are serving the very power that we're trying to expose. My name is Josh Reeves. I love each and every one of you, and we will see you next time on the broadcast. You guys have a great day, night, morning, afternoon, everything. Take care.